Hello everybody! Today we're going to be doing something a lot different than I usually do, because normally on this channel I only post animatics and little animations here and there, very extremely sparsely, and I decided that I wanted to do something different than that. So we're going to be trying this out, and I'm going to make this brief because I've never made a talk sprite, talk puppet sort of thing, but here it is. Alright, so today we're going to be doing a sort of character design challenge using a prompt by Galactic Jonah, and it's called the Character Prompt Sheet. It is a prompt that allows you to design a character using dice and different categories of things like race, colors, of which you can have hair and skin, and you can have natural or sort of fantasy colors. Then there's function, like the class, and then there's the personality, and then the story beats, which can be wholesome or dark. That's sort of self-explanatory. And then finally, the item that your character can carry around. I used an online dice generator for my characters. I created 3, and this footage is a bit slower the first time, but I will speed it up as we figure out more how to do it. So the first one is a tiefling with blue skin and light gray hair who is royalty, and let's see here. That's 3, so they're going to be cheery. And then that's a 12, so they inherit a magic item from Grandma. And then there's a 10, and they're haunted by a ghost, possibly by the ghost of Grandma. And then 4, they have a ring with a blinking eye, which is probably the item. Someone's knocking on my ceiling. Which is probably the item that they inherited. Yep. And I just made a quick list to recap what this character is all about, and they're a tiefling with dark blue skin, silvery hair. They're royal and cheerful, and they inherited a haunted eye ring from Grandma. I just decided to combine the story beats and the items all together to make it more personalized, I guess would be the word. Alright, starting on the design, I started drawing this character and then decided to start rounding out the features to make the cheery trait appear more prevalent. So you can see they have a rounded nose and a rounded chin and rounded little horns, so they appear a little more friendly than if I'd made those features sharper. And you'll see I rounded out the ears later on a little bit too. I also decided to give this character digitigrade legs, the sort of goat-ish legs, because sometimes you see tieflings portrayed with things like that because they have demon heritage, and tieflings are really fun to design because they're so versatile and you'll never see 2 tieflings look exactly the same, which I really like. And here I give her, or them I suppose, pantaloons. I was struggling a bit about how to portray royalty in just an outfit. I'm not incredibly great at designing outfits, but I think this outfit turned out really well put together, and something I would wear even probably if I had the means. I gave her a bit of jewelry too, and it's all rounded to stick with the theme, and gold and blue to fit with the royal theme, royal blue and stuff like that. There's the eye ring. I really like the design of the eye ring. I think it fits being on the thumb. I'm obviously not very well versed in commentary yet, but I'll get there. Here is where I started to design the ghost of the grandma coming out, and I think it looked a little too goofy for the character, and I thought that whoever receives this character would rather they design their own eye ring ghost, which, by the way, I'm going to be selling these characters as adoptables because I'm going to college next month for the first time and I need some money, and I feel like people are really going to like these characters. So if you're interested, tell me in the comments below. I decided to give her a contrast in color in the yellow dress and rose gold sort of jewelry and accents because I thought it fit very well and looked really royal. Here we're finishing up the shading. She's very shiny. I like the light coming off of the ghost flame sort of thing. And overall, I really like this character. Moving on to the next character, the second of 3 characters we'll be doing today. They're going to be an orc elf with about medium brown skin and white hair. We've sped this up a little because we know the motions by now. They're going to be a knight, a very gentle knight, whose parents are a powerful force of good, and who struggles to control their rage. And they have an enchanted glass of wine. I knew their face immediately, and I thought this face looked very kind. So I just sketched out what face I wanted, and then I drew it into a different pose. You can see I liked this pose because they look kind of shy and well-meaning to me. I didn't really know how to portray that they couldn't control their rage very well, but I suppose that could be told with more story stuff, so I just made them look a bit shy and nervous. They actually look like a bit of a surfer to me. Not sure why. I think it's the hair. And once again, I used the sort of art concept of roundness equals soft and more approachable and more gentle. So I gave them a really, really cute rounded nose and a rounded tummy, and even though they're wearing armor, they're still a bit rounded, and I like that. Here is where I realized that the pants didn't really make sense. And you can't really have shorts made of metal, so I tried to give them like a codpiece, but that didn't really work very well. So I just gave them a little banner hanging from their belt. I think that adds a bit of color, which I really like. Then there's the enchanted wine just hanging from a sash that they just carry around for some reason. It can all be explained away in the story that whoever receives this character will write for them. I began coloring this character with a gold plated armor set, but I thought that even though their parent is very influential, that maybe they're not actually royal, and it's just like their parent is like the head of the knights or something. So I gave them silver instead of gold, and I thought the colors came together better, and I instead used gold accents. Not really that important, but I always liked shading metal. I think it's very fun. I messed up the coloring layer a little bit here, so you can see it's a bit jagged on the feather, but I fixed it pretty well, I think. And coloring the line art, and I think our half-orc, half-elf knight is finished. Alright, moving on to the third and final character we're going to create today. They're a catfolk with medium brown skin and teal hair, who is an augur. And here you can see me googling what an augur is, and I think I came up with that it's like a cleric? Sort of like a cleric witch sort of creature? I don't know. They're reckless, they were exploring a new continent, and their home was destroyed by dark forces. And they have green glasses, which I was very excited to do, because I thought it would definitely mesh well with the hair color. And here you can see me figuring out how to draw a catfolk, and the trial and error that came with that. I thought this would be a disaster, but I think this character is so cute, actually. And I was trying to figure out a way to portray them as reckless, so I drew them thumbing their nose up at whatever they're going to attack, or whatever is attacking them. I also struggled a bit with the legs. Obviously they were going to have cat legs because they're a catfolk, and I had to get a bit of help from my sibling getting them to look at it and tell me if it looked natural for a cat or even a person. And I tried to change it, but I think this position did it really well, where they're sort of crouched down in a defensive position, being very bold with their movements and teasing whoever's attacking them. And I also gave them a backpack because they're exploring a new continent. I gave them a hood and a tabard and some metal coins hanging from their waist. to symbolize their role as a cleric? I'm still not entirely sure, but they do magic and interpret nature signs. I think that's what that means. I think the color scheme of this one is a bit less bold than the other two, but I think it's still really satisfying to look at. Here we are shading our catfolk, and I added a sort of bit of fur texture to make it look less like a smooth plastic figurine and more like an actual cat. And here we are coloring the line art and giving them a little overlay, and the catfolk cleric is done. And here are the results. This challenge was a lot of fun, and I greatly recommend trying it for yourself. And this was a bit of a first for me. It took a bit of time to complete all of this and create an entire talk sprite for just this project, and I'm hoping I can use it more in the future. And as it's my first video like this, if you have any suggestions on how I can make the editing better, maybe if I can speed up the Speedpaint a little more, slow it down so you can see what's happening a little better. If you don't like the commentary, tell me that, because this was extremely experimental. I have no idea what I'm doing with this. And if you would like to adopt these characters as your own, shoot me a message on Tumblr. I'm not really sure the price, but I think we can do some sort of a bid if multiple people are interested. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!